Man-in-the-middle or on-path attacks are very popular because they're so productive. When a hacker puts themselves between a victim and the machine they're connecting to, they can capture traffic, delete traffic, inject their own traffic, spoof DNS, and capture passwords. Imagine the damage that can happen if someone captures important documents and leaks their contents or steals the information. In this demo, we're going to illustrate how to capture a password with an on-path or man-in-the-middle attack so that as a network professional, you can take countermeasures to protect your organization. So let's get started. First, I'm going to scan my subnet to see what hosts are connected and identify my router. Inside this terminal on my Kali Linux machine, I can type in nmap 10.10.10.0/24 and press enter. This is going to scan my 10.10.10.0 subnet. It finished pretty quickly. Now let's scroll up and see what we found. Up there, I found my router, router.corpnet.xyz, with an IP address of 10.10.10.1. We need to remember this information for later. Here I have another device on the CorpNet domain with an IP of 10.10.10.169. I'll scroll down a bit. This device here is the one I'm most interested in, PC12, with an IP ending in 195. This is the machine that's going to be my victim machine and the one I'm going to try and capture passwords from. Let's go ahead and close this terminal. Now I want to open up EtherCap. EtherCap comes in both a GUI and a command line interface. It's pre-installed as part of Kali Linux, so we don't have to install or download anything. To open EtherCap, I go up here to Applications, go down to Sniffing and Spoofing, and then over to the right find EtherCap. The EtherCap GUI will appear, and from there I'll come up to the Sniff tab and select Unified Sniffing. That will launch a dialog box where I'm prompted to select my network interface. I only have two options. Depending on your system, you may have multiple interfaces such as a WLAN interface or multiple LAN interfaces. I'm going to leave it with ETH0 and click OK. Now let's scan our subnet for hosts. As you'll recall from our nmap scan, I had 3 hosts. I'll come up to the Hosts tab, come down to Scan for Hosts, and select it. EtherCap starts scanning the subnet for hosts. Down here you can see that it scanned 255 hosts and found 3. Now I want to list these hosts, so I'll go up to the Host tab. This time we'll come down to the Hosts list and select it. Here we can see our 3 hosts. Remember that this 10.10.10.1 was our router, and our victim machine is the one that ended with 195. Let's go back up here to the router and select it. Down here I want to select Add to Target 1. Now I'll come back up and select the host ending in 195, and then we'll go back down. This time we'll select Add to Target 2. So what am I doing here? This is where I'm going to insert myself between the router and the victim. To do that, I'm going to go up to the MITM tab, come down a bit, and select ARP Poisoning. In this new dialog box, I want to check the box that says Sniff Remote Connections and click OK. All right. Now I'll come up to Start and select Start Sniffing. I should have stopped sniffing earlier, but it'll still work fine. Now EtherCap is sniffing our traffic between our victim and the router. We just need to wait for our victim to try and log into a website. Let's jump over to our Windows machine, the one with the IP that ended with 195. All right, I'm over on the Windows machine now, and I've brought up this website. It's a Moodle site, a popular learning management platform used by many educational organizations. I've hidden the web address, but it's an HTTP site, not HTTPS. Just to confirm that we're on the correct machine, I'll quickly open a command prompt and do an ipconfig to verify the IP address. It's the correct machine. It looks good. I'll close this window. Let's go ahead and log in with some credentials. I'll just type in the word teacher, and I'll use let me in for the password. I'll click login. It tells me that I have an invalid login, and it wants me to try logging in again. Now, that's totally okay for what we're demonstrating. Let's jump back over to our Kali Linux machine and see what's happening with EtherCap. Okay, I'm back on Kali, and here's EtherCap. Down here at the bottom, you can see that when I attempted to log in, EtherCap captured the username teacher and the password let me in. Of course, this isn't the correct username and password, but Ettercap would capture whatever was entered, and we assume that the user would eventually enter their correct credentials. The important thing to remember here is that this method does not work with HTTPS, but most users have a habit of using the same credentials for multiple sites. So once you get the credentials to one site, you'll likely have credentials for multiple sites. That's it for this demo. In this demo, we use Ettercap to create an on-path or man-in-the-middle attack with ARP poisoning to capture login credentials through a website.